Case Digest on Brigandage. Elements of brigandage. First, there be at least 4 armed persons. Second, they form a band of robbers. Third, the purpose is any of the following. First, to commit robbery in a highway, or B, to kidnap person for purpose of extortion or to obtain ransom, or C, to obtain by means of force or violence any other purpose. GR number 1351, September 25, 1903, the United States versus Francisco de Cusin et al. The facts of the case. The defendants were convicted under the provisions of Act number 518 of the Philippine Commission passed November 12, 1902 of having, of the 3rd day of January 1903, assaulted the house of Juan Anacleto Salvatierra in San Fernando de la Union, and by means of force and violence of having robbed the house of said Salvatierra, and having taken from him by force, threats, and intimidation the sum of 800 pesos and a quantity of jewelry. This robbery took place between 8 and 9 o'clock at night. All of the defendants except 2 were armed with bolos, and one of the latter had a club. The crime with which the defendants were charged and of they were convicted is an aggravated robbery by a band of highwaymen or brigands. The issue of the case, whether or not the accused belonged to a band of brigands in order to properly charge the offense. The ruling of the case. The Supreme Court held that in order to sustain a conviction for the crime of brigandage, the evidence must show that the defendants were members of an armed band formed for the purpose of stealing personal property by force, and they went upon the highway to roam over the country for that purpose. Proof that the robbery was committed by 3 or more men acting together does not raise to the presumption that they belong to a band of brigands. In the case before us, the charge is made that the robbery was committed by the defendants as member of such a band. But we do not find in the record of particular of proof to show that the defendants formed a conspiracy for the purpose of stealing personal property by means of force and violence, and that they went upon the highway or they roamed over the country armed with deadly weapons for that purpose. From the fact that the defendants committed the robbery in question, it may reasonably and unlawfully be inferred that they conspire and combine for the very purpose of robbing the house of Salvatierra, but may it, in addition, be inferred that this act that beyond a reasonable doubt, they also conspired to form a band of brigands for the purpose of going out upon the highway or roving over the country with the view of stealing carabaos or other personal property. In the present case, may we not reasonably say that the hypothesis indulged in by the prosecution that because of commission of this robbery, the defendant must have been a band of highway robbers, does not exclude to the moral certainty of the other hypothesis which arise from the fact of the crime and the fact of the criminals were all neighbors of the party robbed and doubtless knew that he had in his house a large sum of money, and the conclusion that they therefore conspired to commit this single robbery.